feels like I've not done a video in ages because we basically had a day off, everything, and I just thought no one wants to hear about my day off, everything. We all felt really rough after the Magic Kingdom. We basically just shut down for the day. I think it probably worked out right on timing because I released the Magic Kingdom video on that day, and then it was yesterday that I didn't release a video. But what we basically did was we spent the day just lounging around on the sofa watching TV. We went out to an outlet. There's a mild misunderstanding because I thought we were going to a Disney shop to get some Disney stuff, but then it was just clothes shopping. So feeling rough, I just went from bench to bench while the family went in and out of all these different shops buying stuff. We went to a really rough food court that had ran out of milk and just looked really run down. And then just by sheer coincidence, we were discussing the fact that we'd almost booked at this place. And, well, I say coincidence, I'm guessing that Mrs. Sheepdog noticed it. And I had just started noticing it on Pokemon Go. There was a Pokestop that was this giant pirate ship. And she was looking at the houses. She was like, we were going to book to stay here. All the brochures show this massive pirate ship and kids jumping around in like a big swimming pool, and it's a big complex and all this, that and the other, and it makes it sound absolutely amazing. And we didn't book it because it was ridiculously expensive, and we could have got like 2 separate apartments, not like one big one or anything like that. Having been to it now, parked in their car park, gone to their food court, we realise we probably dodged a massive bullet. They spent more money on fancy photos of their pirate ship than they have on their whole area. It did make me wonder then whether we should drive around and see what other places we almost booked, because booking this holiday was quite hard. Like, I don't, not difficult in terms of like the physicality of it all, just getting it right and reading kind of what people were saying, because nobody's going to say my house is rubbish, my this is bad, blah blah blah. They're just going to show the best and they're going to twist the pictures. So going to that place was awesome because it showed that it was bad, and I'm glad we didn't book it. I think if we come back, when we come back, we should book a Disney one, because that seemed like the best plan. There's a lot of extras in that you don't realise you're getting. Like, you have food vouchers, so you can sign something off as a snack, and you can sign something off as a meal, and you can just eat as you go, and you can drink as much as you want as you walk around and all that. Whereas we've kind of just been drinking from water fountains and biting the bullet and spending sort of $5 on a coffee or whatever. So yeah, it's interesting. I might do a proper debrief on that at the end, but I learned a lot on that day off, really, that wasn't intentional. Beyond that, yesterday we went to Blizzard Beach. So we did Blizzard Beach, then we did Hollywood Studios. The reason I didn't do a video of it was because Blizzard Beach didn't have my phone on me. We basically just wandered around the pools. I didn't realise, I swear last time I went there they didn't have a lazy river. If they did, no one told me. But we got on the lazy river. That was awesome. We loved that as a family. Bosco and Lambpup just ran around like lunatics while we sort of lay in nice comfy floatables just doing this, which was lovely. We have a wave pool as well that is really aggressive when they turn it on. I told the kids there wasn't a wave pool there, and everything that we saw at first confirmed my statement. And then later on we went to get in a pool and they just turned the wave machine on in it, and it was ridiculous. It was just, you'd go forward and it would throw you back a metre. I tried sitting down in the middle of the pool and it threw me all the way back to the start, which was part of my intention. But then I couldn't stand up. Every time I went to stand up, another wave hit me. It got to the point where I was just laying on my back, drowning, because I just couldn't get up. Mrs. Sheepdog had to come and pull me up because I was just like, I am absolutely beached. It was ridiculous. I wish I could have filmed that, because I was just, every time I put my hand down to lean up, it would just hit me again. And I'm very lucky, actually. All my limbs were getting scraped along the bottom, but I don't have any cuts. Whereas Mrs. Sheepdog has a cut on her back from Typhoon Lagoon, and the kids both had cut feet after walking around on the hard floor. I must say, the kids like to play the floor is lava at home, which I know most kids do, but at Blizzard Beach it literally was lava. It was so hot, I don't know what they were thinking. I now understand why they have the water sprayers everywhere to cool the floor down, but it wasn't working in most places, and we had such sore feet at the end of it. We only went on a few slides, mainly because the kids were being chickens. My mother-in-law sat back in the shade because she still wasn't feeling very well, so the kids didn't want to go on half the stuff, and we didn't want to go on our own. But we got on a big round boat thing that went down a tunnel. It was me and Lambpup got on it, and I'm trying to ignore the bloke going, "Is anybody in a group of 2? Any 2s?" I'm like, "No, I'm not going to listen. I'm just going to get on my own one. Screw this guy." Lambpup puts her hand up, and so we ended up going on it with these two random girls who didn't speak English, and they're chatting to each other the whole way down, and I'm thinking, what are you saying about us? You know, they're sat there going, look at this ugly fat man, or whatever. They probably weren't at all, they're probably just having a conversation, but it made me feel uncomfortable that I didn't know what they were saying, and I just felt like I was probably imposing on their ride just as much as they were imposing on mine. It just felt a bit awkward. I just decided to ignore them and talk to Lambpup, and the ride was really slow actually. It was just careering down this thing, but you're just kind of going up. And I thought, again, maybe I just weighed it down, but Mrs. Sheepdog went on it with Lambpup straight after, and she said it was just slow. We are going on a river rapids tomorrow, Animal Kingdom, that should be really quick, if Bosco's brave enough to do it. So we were supposed to go to the Magic Kingdom. Our plan was to go to the Magic Kingdom afterwards. No, the Animal Kingdom, sorry. And we had all these rides booked in, and we kept getting to the point where we'd been there maybe 3 hours and we hadn't really done much, and our ride was coming up in an hour at the Animal Kingdom. It was the Everest ride, and I kept thinking, I don't really want to go on a roller coaster, I don't really want to do this, that and the other, so I bumped it back. And then it got to the point where I was bumping them back so much I just cancelled them all. And then I sort of said to the family, I'll tell you what we'll do, instead of trying to just find roller coasters to go on, why don't we go to Hollywood Studios and do all the shows we missed? And they were kind of reluctant, they weren't really sure about it. So I booked the Indiana Jones stunt ride, I booked the Little Mermaid, Voyage of the Little Mermaid, and then Fantasmic for the evening, which is like it's just another show. We had a right rush to get to the Indiana Jones one. We had like 5 minutes it said you had to arrive by 1:45 to use your fast pass, and it was like 22, and every idiot in the park happened to be standing in my way. I really wanted a drink, I was so thirsty, and I kept stopping at places to try and grab one, and there was a guy moaning his head off about his order, and he wouldn't shut up and just let other people order, and I was getting really wound up with him. So then I ran off to another one, and then there was idiots in that queue, and I got to another one, and there was this woman just asking annoying questions. And finally we got to like the door, and there was a guy selling Coke, and I was like, I'll have 5 Cokes, and just got them all in, bundled up, and ran after my family to hand them out. When we got in, the Indiana Jones thing was awesome. It was like really cool. They act like they're on set filming a film and we're just happening to be there. It was quite meta, and there was actors acting as actors and there was actors acting as casting members, and they're all having conversations, and I felt some of it seemed a little bit unnecessary. They could have just talked to us about the stunts, but there was like, you know, this camera's going to do this and blah blah blah. It was just trying to give you a proper behind the scenes look at films and stuff. So yeah, it was interesting. Bosco found the stunts quite scary, when he fell into a lava pit and then climbed back out, or when the boulder was chasing him and stuff like that. Bosco thought that was a little bit scary, but then it's because he's young. We all really enjoyed it though. I recommend going to it if you ever go to Hollywood Studios. It's an old one, but it's a good one. The highlight of the day, I think, for the kids, or one of the highlights, was once we left that, we went to the Voyage of the Little Mermaid, and on the way in this guy stopped us and said that he'd wanted Lambpup and Bosco to introduce it. I wasn't really sure what that meant, and that didn't turn out to be something as grand as I expected exactly, but basically he took them to the front and we had to wait there for ages, and he told them to practice saying what they were going to say.
I can remember. Hello and welcome aboard, and hope you enjoy the show. Welcome aboard and hope you enjoy the show.
And now, my first mates.
Welcome aboard, we hope you enjoy the show. Welcome aboard, I hope you enjoy the show.
Yeah!
Gave him this little certificate saying, like, you know, I hope you really enjoyed the moment of introducing it, and, you know, hope you had a fantastic day, and hope you remember your trip forever. And I thought that was really lovely. They were well hyped. You know, to them it was like a big deal. It was a lovely deal. I hope they get other experiences like that in future, because, you know, it's something that they'll remember the day they did that, and it wasn't anything we'd planned. They just come up to us and asked if they wanted to do it, so that was lovely. They did that in the Indiana Jones with some other kids as well. They had to come up and introduce the show, and it must just be a thing they do at Hollywood Studios, but it was very cool. The Voyage of the Little Mermaid was interesting. It felt like they'd skipped some of the best. They did Under the Sea, and they did Part of Your World, is it called? And then it was a woman, the mermaid on stage, and then all the sea creatures and stuff. But we were a little bit like, well, Kiss the Girl's the best song from that film other than Under the Sea, and they didn't do that one, so we were a little bit disappointed. But the show was good. It was cool. There was like bright, vibrant models and people dressed in all black, so you couldn't see them just moving it all around, which was very cool. They kept saying, don't take pictures, you'll hurt the people doing it. And I'm thinking, their feelings maybe, but how would they get hurt by a flash unless they get distracted and trip over? I don't know. But they made a big deal about not hurting the performers with flash photography. Maybe they all just have sensitive eyes, I don't know. After that, we only got some food, and then we went to, it was Fantasmic, yeah. That was odd, actually. They talk about it being this big Mickey fighting off all the villains from all the various Disney films, but it's a bit more, I can't get the right word. It was all a dream sequence. It was Mickey falls asleep, dreams about all these awesome things, and then the bad things start creeping into his thoughts, and all the villains escape through, and the evil queen from Snow White summons everyone like Scar and Cruella de Vil and all this, but they're all kind of cartoon images, and then there'll be like a giant snake or a giant dragon, which is very cool. They looked awesome, and Bosco thought they were very scary, and they were letting off fireworks and bits, and there's lots of lasers and lights, which was awesome. But I'd imagine there'd be more acting on stage. They imply, when you watch the videos of it, like the adverts of it, it looks like there's more Mickey fighting stuff on stage, which he was just kind of lifting up fireworks and making the water splash and stuff like that. But no, it was a long show, so I don't know, at least half an hour, and it was very, very cool. It was a great way to finish. Part of me feels like if I'd known how good it was going to be, we should have booked it as our last thing on the last night, but I don't think we'll have a late night on tomorrow night, because we need to get up and kind of go. I think our flight's in the afternoon, so we don't have to rush out, but yeah. And I'd consider, if you were arranging a holiday based off my advice, I would say put Fantasmic quite late on, just because it's a peak. That's a great way. I think we've probably timed it reasonably well. Today we're going to the Magic Kingdom to just finish up rides. I'll do some filming while we're there. Tomorrow we're going to finish up the Animal Kingdom. I think we're going to go to Typhoon Lagoon in the morning, if I can convince the family to do it. And then it's our last day. Well, tomorrow's our last day, sorry. And then we're just basically packing for the flight and flying home, which is gutting when you think about it. I don't really know how I'm going to do the video for that day yet, unless I don't know, I'll figure it out. But no, I'm quite sad it's all coming to an end now. We've got the fun of trying to finish all the food and drink we've bought. we bought a, I don't know if it was a 16 pack of beers on the first day, and about a week in we bought another, even though we hadn't finished the first one, and then we realised 2 nights ago that we hadn't touched them, and we basically got to get through something like 20 beers, and I think we've had a couple, but we've still got probably 15 left. And I know that sounds like that'd be a quiet night in for me, but it's really hot out here and beer doesn't go down as easily as it should, and I don't know how we're going to do it. We're going to end up packing all these bottles of beer and getting told off, I'm sure, or just leaving them. But we're going to have a fun night tonight trying to figure out what to do with all these beers, I think. It does sound like a difficult one, but I think I'm up to the task if I need to be. If I need to be called upon, I'm pretty sure that's one of my superpowers, drinking beer. Anyway, it has been awesome. This holiday's been awesome. The past few days have been nice, other than feeling ill. We all just got a bit run down. I'm aching. I think my mother-in-law's staying home today because she's just aching. She's just tired. She wants a rest. She'll stay out of the heat. I am tired of being excessively hot, but I hear it's just as bad in the UK at the moment. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up on this. I will do some filming today. I'm sorry I didn't do any more filming. I know that people liked that other video. If you want to see some Magic Kingdom stuff and you haven't yet, go to the last video that I released, because that covers the Winnie the Pooh ride breaking down, for example, which was well fun. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed while I've been doing these. There's lots of subscribers that I've gained over the past 2 weeks, which I'm really chuffed about. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. I need to think of something to do for my follow-up series or more stuff, because it's been really nice having a topic and growing it and that sort of thing. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't seen any of my non-Disney videos, go back and watch them so you can get an idea of what I normally do. Yeah, thanks. I'm going to wrap up. Cheers.